Hello everyone, the December review here, back again with AJLT Season 3, Episode 6 recap. As always, spoilers are ahead, so make sure to check out the show streaming exclusively on HBO Max. Well, the season has been building up to some serious drama in the past few weeks, from Carrie's visit to Aiden and Harry's cancer diagnosis. Things have been rocky across the board for our AJLT crew, and it's about to get a whole lot more difficult in this week's episode. There's a lot to unpack here with multiple sad storylines, but I need to start with, of course, Carrie. I am a defender of the character. Over the years, she's been labeled as the villain of the series by many who can maybe look back at the original series now and see plenty of storylines that I'm sure would have been dealt with differently today. There has been a noticeable shift in who Carrie is this season, really throughout And Just Like That's full run so far. The loss of Big seems to have had some leveling up changes, even if very subtly. I've talked about her more measured approach to things recently. Carrie doubled down with Aiden after her rough road trip, a move plenty of fans were seeing as the perfect spot to move on. Just last episode, she wavered in her shoe war with her neighbor, opting for peace over difficulty. Maybe she's realized that life is fragile, and now, without needing to worry about any money anymore, this is a stronger version of Carrie. One who can take things more at face value with a few instances of stubbornness along the way. But now, after episode 6, Carrie, this Aiden thing is over. At least it could be. So Wyatt decides to take a week-long sabbatical, freeing Aiden up to swing by New York for a spell. Things don't exactly start off on the right foot when their customary pebble-throwing entrance ends up smashing a very old window pane. Carrie is pretty upset over it, considering how old the glass was. She lists off the major historical events that the window has lasted through and points out its keen way of creating a rainbow in just the right light. Aiden is, of course, really sorry and ends up driving to Philadelphia, bringing back as many centuries-old frames as he can find, but nothing will seem to work. The glass is shattered. That's when he drops the news that he and his ex-wife spent a night together. This was a very surprising revelation for me. Aiden hasn't exactly been his lovable self in AJLT, and more so this season, but to cheat on Carrie, never saw that coming. What exactly do you define Carrie and Aiden in 2025? They don't know. We don't know. So what does this really mean? Well, for Carrie, in another surprise move, instead of ending things, she takes a moment and understands. She's not exactly thrilled, but Aiden is still welcome anytime. It kind of played out like that. They did have a conversation, once again trying to understand just what their relationship really is. With this 5-year break thing from Aiden that still exists but doesn't really exist, he said he overreacted. She said he needs his space. Is this really cheating if they aren't exclusive? Are they exclusive? What dimension are we in? I was genuinely surprised at Carrie's empathy here. No one would have blamed her for getting him out of the house in that moment, and maybe we circle back next week and pick up those pieces. But no. Are we a couple? Are we exclusive? Did I sell my old apartment and buy this huge new one for your family to stay at? Did you want a 5-year break, then not need a 5-year break? You can text but not call. You can call and stop by. Do whatever you want. Yeah, it's all got me a bit perplexed. Taking a step back, maybe we can refocus a bit. Aiden isn't someone new. There's a history almost as old as that window pane between them. The emotional baggage here is enough to open a store on Broadway. Maybe 2 stores. Maybe buy a store, then the one next to it. Start knocking down a few walls to connect them. What's the worst that could happen? That must be factored into Carrie's more measured approach to all this. To fully understand is to see just what the expectations are. Though it was his idea for the 5-year thing, Aiden thought of the relationship continuing on long distance. They wouldn't be together much, but they are still together, exclusive. For Carrie, it isn't the same. We all thought this 5-year thing was going to be legit moving on at the end of last season. Carrie was free to live as she saw fit, and when Aiden was ready, they would see where they were. Not exclusive. Sort of. In that context, should she have been more upset? The whole thing was shrugged off rather quickly. Throwing a pebble at a window has been a thing the pair have done for years. This time it had unwanted results that were very much foreshadowing. The glass didn't just shatter, maybe so did the expectations they were both holding on to. Man, it's a lot to take in, and I haven't even got to the rest of the cast. Another big narrative this week is the sudden loss of Lisa Todd's father. While she is in the editing room with Marion, Lisa silences her phone after a few of what she thought were unnecessary calls. Turns out her father had an emergency and ended up passing. Lisa is reeling from not being there in the final moments. She ends up getting an email invitation to the services from her father's longtime manager of the theater he owned. This sets off a meeting between them, as Lisa tries to get her to back down. This storyline between Lisa and Lucille I thought was quite touching. In fact, it had a bit of Sweet Magnolia's vibe to it, which is an excellent small-town drama on Netflix that I recommend checking out. One would assume Lisa was correct for wanting to take control over the service arrangements, but when you look a bit deeper into Lucille's motivation, it's impossible not to feel compassion for everyone involved. The episode features the service, which was held at the theater, filled with musical numbers and grand costumes. Unusual maybe, but for someone who lived for theater, it seemed perfect. For her part, Lisa breaks down as the AJLT cast of friends come together. Even Herbert's mother, the usually snarky Eunice, played wonderfully by Pat Bowie, shares some touching words. I really thought the Lucille character was a standout here. She is seemingly an antagonist, but underneath it all, her intentions are coming from love. It's an excellent role. There really isn't much good news to go around for anyone, really. Maybe Miranda, but I'll get to that in a second. Charlotte and Harry continue his journey. After meeting with the doctor, Harry decides to have surgery versus radiation, as they prepare for the next steps. The end of the episode finds Carrie at Walgreens and bumping into Charlotte. After wondering why she's there, Charlotte breaks down and tells Carrie about Harry in an absolutely heartbreaking moment. Kristen Davis has had some of her best performance work in the series these past 2 episodes. She's been equal parts strong, upbeat, and overwhelmed, sometimes all within the same scene. Hats off for this great acting. Okay. It's once again time for breaking news, so let's throw it out to the December Review's man on the street, Evan Evansley. Evan, please tell me we actually have some news. Are we on? Hello? Yes, you're on. Oh, hey, hello. Yes, I can hear you. Awesome. So what has been this breaking news the whole time? Well, just didn't really have anything else to do. Hey, what's going on with Carrie and Aiden? Crazy, right? Alrighty then. So Sema is going through it as well. After losing out on the business loan last week, here she says goodbye to her car and driver in a cost-cutting move. She takes on the Miranda home search, and it's not going all that well as what appears to be the perfect place. Miranda isn't keen on the politics involved in making an offer, much to Sema's chagrin. The deconstruction of Sema this season is in full effect. First she breaks it off with Ravi, then moves on from the firm, gets denied the loan, says goodbye to the car, and can't get Miranda to make up her mind in what would be a much needed commission right now. But at that end, maybe some of that luck is starting to turn as Miranda does settle on that perfect home, striking Sema's first sale on her own. Now maybe a certain gardener will be around to keep things moving in the right direction. And that house sale for Miranda, well, it's all driven by her time spent with Joy. After staying with her for about 3 days and then the pair meeting up to meet Brady for the first time, Miranda's ready to take the next step, which in this case is at home because it can have Joy's 2 dogs come over. Joy herself is an interesting character right now. She was introduced as a strong and confident counterpart, but as this relationship has taken shape, she's been much more reserved than expected. Perhaps as things continue, that will even out once things aren't as new. And lastly, for Anthony and Giuseppe, life is rolling along at the bakery, which has now become a hotspot of sorts. Seems if they aren't over at Charlotte's for dinner every night, they are enjoying the bakery's success. Plus, I like how this gives the cast a place to eat at potentially each week, in addition to any other places we've seen over the years. It's like they now have a home base, which is pretty cool. Julie Rottenberg is back in the director's chair for the second straight week, following Michael Patrick King's first 4-episode run. There's a great standout scene where Carrie and Charlotte are at Tiffany's and run in a Bitsy. The camera work is great here, pulling back to really allow for the store's windows and framework to shine. And I also have to mention the music this week was fantastic. In addition to the usual string and piano score, there was a few songs used here, including telenovelas Eggs in One Basket and the excellent Letting Go by Angie McMahon that hits during the end credits. Letting Go is an amazing song which is transformative on its own, but really takes a whole other form when paired with this episode's emotional stories.
I've been learning about letting go, how to do it without my claws scratching the surfaces. I've been learning about wasting time and closing some doors, hoping to open more down the line.
And that's the key word this week, emotional. There was a lot to take in as the AJLT crew are all in it right now. These past 2 weeks really have brought out another level not really seen since the first season of the show in the aftermath of Big's passing. But much like that season, maybe we're just around the bend for a turning point. A bit of light inside the uncharted territory we're all traveling in. Maybe that first commission for Sema is what she needed to reset. Maybe Miranda will finally be able to settle down in her own real space for the first time since leaving Steve. Maybe Charlotte's confession to Carrie is the break she needed to mentally carry on. And maybe Harry's decision is what will cure him. And maybe that window pane shattering didn't just break the glass, but also the expectational rift that divided Carrie and Aiden. And maybe end up just bringing them closer together in the long run. I couldn't help but wonder.
It's okay, make mistakes, make mistakes. It's okay, make mistakes, make mistakes. It's okay.